solving the problem. After solving the problem is the new process which you improve, as it comes with some additional risk that also needs to be understood. Waste, variation, risk. If you can handle all the three, all done. And now let's do a simple analysis. I want all of you to participate. Let me create a contest for all of you. Y equal to f of x, the problem solving strategy, where y is the dependent variable, x are the independent variable, right? We sometimes our result is with the y, sometimes our problem is with the y. Mathematically, y is dependent variable. And our result depends on the inputs that goes to the process. Our result also depends on the process parameters or the process conditions, environment conditions, and they are called independent variable. And imagine you are the quality head for a chain of restaurant in India. There are 100 plus restaurants you have across India, and you are receiving lot of complaints about the coffee. And by thoroughly analyzing the complaints, you understood that majority of the complaints are about the strongness of the coffee. About the strongness of the coffee. Whenever a strong coffee is ordered, your customers are not happy. Finally, they are leaving a comment that it's not strong enough. And now y variable, I have told you. The strongness of the coffee is the y variable. And tell me what are the x variables here?
Coffee powder.
Yes, coffee powder is one x variable, x1.
Milk.
What is x? Milk is x2. All of you please try to contribute. X1 is understood, x2 is understood. Then
Heat.
Sugar.
okay, sugar is x3.
Flame or heat.
Plain?
Heat.
I didn't get you.
Temperature.
Oh, temperature. Very
water.
good. Temperature. Yes.
Sir, here we can identify to 6M, na?
Water is water also, I agree. Yes, yes. Come again.
Sir, we can identify here to Ishikawa diagram also. 6M.
Yeah, you can use any tool, but here it's not that difficult. So all of you already started revealing, right? Your Ishikawa diagram exactly does that job only, right? And so let me put it on the screen.
I think the measurement of the coffee and the milk.
Correct. So the milk, coffee powder, sugar, temperature, the kind of vessel you use, and this, many things, right? All these things are the x1, x2, x3, x4, x5, x6. Now the probable cause factors are identified. I did a little bit of brainstorming, and all of you helped me. This is how all of you can do. A brainstorming, if you mix it up with a fishbone diagram, like a visualization, and can serve the purpose of listing all your probable X factor. Now, my problem is with the strongness of the coffee. And now tell me what is the critical factor here?
Coffee powder.
Coffee powder.
Coffee
Oh,
powder.
beautiful, beautiful. So coffee powder is the critical factor. Now you know how to identify the potential factor or the probable cause factor. You also know how to identify the critical factor. How did you quickly tell me the critical factor? Because you know the strongness of the coffee is affected mainly by the coffee powder. Am I right? More the coffee powder, more stronger will be the coffee. You know this relationship between the x variable and the y variable, and that is why mathematics is important. Knowingly, unknowingly, you have used your mathematical knowledge and quickly you concluded that coffee powder is the culprit. Right? Same way, if you are manufacturing castings, if you are manufacturing homeware appliances, if you are manufacturing televisions, a problem is happening. Can you list all the X factor? Can you also quickly go to the critical factor? You're solving the problem very well, right? And little bit of statistics can make you work very well, under similar conditions. And now another complaint, the next level of complaint is about the sweetness of the coffee. Now, what is the critical factor?
Sugar.
Sugar.
You are doing the analysis very well. In case if the critical factor identification is a problem, with the coffee, the example is simple and all of you easily identified. But how, sir, how can I identify the critical factor? My problem is very complex. Now the solution is design of experiments. If you don't know the relationship between X and Y, the solution comes from a tool called design of experiments. What is design of experiment? I add some coffee powder in a 100 ml milk. Let's say I have taken 100 ml milk and I have put 8 grams of coffee powder. I'm checking the strongness. It is not strong enough. I have asked 10 people and all 10 people are telling it is not strong. Now what will I do? I go to the next experiment. Now I add 10 grams of coffee powder. For 100 ml, 10 grams of coffee powder ordered. And now 2 people are saying strong, 8 people are not saying strong. And now I go to the next experiment. Now I put 12 grams of coffee powder. Now all are telling the coffee is strong. Now what is that I did? Experimentation. I did experimentation in a systematic way. This is called the design of experiments. If you conduct the experiment systematically in an extensive way with all possible combination, with an interest to find out the optimized solution, that is called the design of experiments. If I do the same design of experiments in a lighter way, like I don't do all the experiment, rather I do only few experiment, because my intention is only to understand whether my factor is critical or not. That is called hypothesis testing. All of you understand what is design of experiments and what is hypothesis testing? Can I get a yes or a no? Design of experiments helps you to optimize the solution in real time. You will practically do some experimentation. You will prepare the coffee and get convinced for yourself. But if you do the experiment only to understand whether a relationship exists between X and Y or not, and whether that relationship is critical or not, this is answered by the tool called hypothesis testing. Clear? Why I am not getting yes? Is it
Yes,
not
sir.
clear? Is it going tough? Yes or no?
Sir, this all X variable are CTQs.
Yes, very good. X variables or X variable. See, your X variable could be a CTQ, but your customer is interested on Y means, then Y variable is the CTQ. And depends on X. All right. So similarly, for an industrial scenario, compressive strength you want to improve, wear rate of the tool you want to bring it down, or thermal efficiency of the boiler you want to improve. Now the X factors have to be identified. Do the same way. And now identify the critical factor and then understand the relationship and then optimize the X and Y. Problem is solved. Approach is same, situation is different, right? So all of you, once you master this skill, you can work with any company. You may be a mechanical engineer, you can work in an electrical company, you can work in a software industry, you can work in a chemical process industry, because the approach is same everywhere. And there are a lot of tools which will help you in the analysis phase. These are brainstorming. We have used brainstorming. All of you helped me, right? And YY analysis, fishbone diagram, value stream mapping, FMEA, hypothesis testing, correlation and regression. What is correlation? Correlation is a tool which will tell you a relationship exists between two variables or not. Two people are walking together. You want to know whether there is any relationship between the two. That is correlation. You want to understand what kind of relationship that exists between the two. Are they brothers or are they, father and son? You want to understand. That is called regression. So understanding whether a relationship exists or not, that is correlation. And what kind of relationship, whether it is a straight line, whether it is a curved line, that is called what? Regression, right? So if you know all these tools, right, how to generate the regression equation, you are solving the problem well, and then you are generating the solutions effortlessly. And in the analysis phase, there are three steps: listing the probable X. You can explore the tools like brainstorming and fishbone diagram, YY analysis, and other tools also can be explored. And then the next step, and this is how a fishbone diagram and a YY analysis and a value stream mapping. See here, you have visualized your factory, how the raw material is converted into the finished product. From the order till the delivery of the product, everything is visualized. Step number 8, prioritizing. Tools like Pareto, cause and effect matrix, hypothesis testing comes into play in the next step, because you really wanted to take action only on the critical factor, not on everything. If the factor is really critical, you work on it. If it is not critical, you're wasting your energy. So hypothesis testing gives you the correct direction. And then the sufficiency, whether the factors I identified are sufficient enough to produce the result I have committed. Now that answer comes from regression analysis. And this is a Pareto. On the right side is your scatter diagram. Scatter diagram also shows you a red color line. The red color line is the regression line. The equation of the red color line is written on the top of the graph. All that you can do yourself. If you know how to do it by your own hand, you can use any software, and now you will quickly become 1 out of the 1,000 people in your organization. It's all definitely possible. A 4 days or a 6 days of effort will differentiate you from the entire crowd of average people in your organization. So the ultimate aim of the analyze phase is I wanted to see the validated root cause. Who is the culprit? If I know the culprit, I know how to treat him, right? And that treatment, we'll do it in the next phase, which is improve. I hope you got some broader idea about how a Six Sigma project will go on in each and every phase, define, measure, analyze, and this thing, right? Right, there are a few questions.